Oh, alrighty. How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. If you guys would, please give the video a thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button. Select all for all notifications so you guys don't miss out on future videos. And here we are going to be talking about Dune Prophecy. This is, of course, a prequel TV show. It's out on Max. The first 3 episodes at the time of recording this video are out. The first 3 out of 6. And this is going to be based on me watching the first episode. And I want to let you guys know I don't plan on watching anymore. As somebody who is a diehard fan of Dune, I like the original from the 80s. I like the current ones, Dune Part 1 and 2. I'm looking forward to Dune Messiah, aka Dune Part 3. I've read the first 6 books twice. This show, however, I don't like. Okay? It is... It starts off interesting. So, the show primarily takes place about like 100 years after the war against the Terminator-like AI, and with humanity's victory over the AI, we have the creation of the Imperium / the Empire, and then we have all the great houses like, the Harkonnens and the Atreides and all these different factions going on, and the Empire's beginning to, they're on Arrakis, and they're trying to harvest spice, and they're dealing with the Furman, and there's this little, insurgency going on within the Imperium. I keep wanting to say Empire. I got Star Wars on the brain. Within the Imperium. And, it's a bunch of setup. That's what the show is. So, like I said, it takes place 100 years after the war against the AI has ended. All the AI is outlawed. And the show is set 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides. So it's set 10,000 years before Dune Part 1. And the show focuses a lot on doing setup and whatnot. It does a lot with, being like an origin story of the Bene Gesserit witches. And it shows us how things are set up for Paul's eventual arrival as the Messiah. Unfortunately, that's what the show is. It's a lot of setup. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of plotting. The best way to describe Dune Prophecy is a sci-fi version, a Dune version of Game of Thrones. But there are no stakes. There's no action. And there's no emotion. Even the best... you can have a drama show. You can have a show where people are talking and they're plotting against each other and they're trying to form allies and, take certain people out for the sake of gaining power or political influence. You can see that a lot with shows like, Game of Thrones, for example, or The Walking Dead. Or you could have a show where people are constantly doing a lot of talking and whatnot, aka a drama, but there's some other little hook going on within that show, such as 24, where there's an action sequence, or, somebody's in danger, or you could have a magical element, such as Once Upon a Time, or the characters are trapped on an island and they're trying to survive, aka Lost. Dune Prophecy has none of that. It is literally characters just talking to each other and doing exposition dumps. And that's fine, but because there's no action, there's no other thing to keep you emotionally engaged, it leads to the storytelling just being very bland. Now, the sets, beautiful. Whoever was behind the set design, the costumes, the lighting, it's good, okay? It's as good as Dune Part 1 and 2, okay? It looks good. But you can have a show, you can have a movie, you can have something that looks big and flashy, but if the story is utter boredom, if it's just boring and it doesn't keep you engaged, it's a bad show. Okay? I watched the first episode with my family and I looked at them and I'm just like, I don't care to watch anymore. And that's sad. Coming from somebody who loves the first 6 Dune books, somebody who's coming from the fact that I love all of the current Dune films, the old and the newer ones, I just don't think that this show is worth watching. You know, if you're a fan of Dune, you're not going to like this show. My personal opinion. And if you're not a fan and you're like, oh, I want to jump into Dune and Dune Prophecy is your first exposure, first off, you're not going to understand a single thing. This show does not explain to you anything. If you haven't watched Dune Part 1 or Part 2, you're not going to understand anything. It's kind of like Star Wars, where it's like, in order to like properly understand the prequels, you had to have seen the originals first, kind of thing. But it's worse. There's also, for whatever reason, there's a lot of hippie things. There's, at the end of the first episode, there's this sex and nudity scene, and it kind of like takes you out of the whole Dune thing. Like, I understand sex and nudity is a thing in human, biology. It's a thing that happens, but it comes out of left field, and I'm just like, okay, it deviates so far from the main plot when it happens in the first episode. I'm just like, why are we doing this? Like, how is this supposed to add to the characters? It feels weird when it happens. I'm like, it doesn't feel natural. It just, we're doing this. I'm like, why? Like, why are we doing this? It just feels weird. Overall, guys, Dune Prophecy, it's an easy show to skip and forget. I'm not going to remember this show. I know I haven't watched all of it, and I honestly just don't care to. I will probably watch other people's talks and reviews about it and see, how does the last episode end and how does it possibly tie in to Dune Part 1. But you know what? Here's the thing. Read the book. You get your answer. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't have time to read an 800-page book. I'd rather watch an hour of TV. Read the book. Just read the books. Read the books. Okay? Much better. Just much better. It also allows for your imagination to somewhat have fun. So, and that's kind of unfortunate. What a lot of movies and shows now do is they take your imagination away and they tell you what is and what isn't. So, yeah. So I'm going to give Dune Prophecy, based on the first episode, a 2 out of 10. That's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.